All right, gonna do another robe sketch this morning. The last one I feel like I wasted so much time just yammering on that this time I want to spend more time, less talk and more rock. Okay, let's get into it. Cool, getting some kind of a granular action going with this lane one. Let's definitely need some effects here. Let's instantiate a grain delay. Turn you up. Had some silly idea earlier that would be fun to make sketches in really weird places. What about trying to do this 10-minute thing on an abandoned building? What about an elevator? See how long before the cops show up, you know? I think 10 minutes, no cop is going to show up in 10 minutes. Airplane bathroom, there's a good one. What's another good one? Funeral, for sure, you know? Just some random, crash a random funeral and sit in the back and, you know, not say anything, but just record a video of making a sketch. I think that would be a good time. Super reverent. Would definitely go to hell for doing that. All right, a little too frequent on these sounds, so let's try our auto pan or tremolo style technique. And maybe we'll drag these before the grain delay. Definitely some wacky sound design kind of stuff coming from this one sample. So once you automate the start and end points, you can make some crazy stuff happen, obviously. Let's try this sound. C1. And I'm going to automate this note here. So every time we change the automation, it will fire off a new note. And if anybody's wondering how I'm getting these effects to load in so fast, it is all auto hotkey. Unfortunately, they don't make that for Mac OS X. There's probably a different app for Mac OS X to be able to create macros of keyboard keystrokes. And that's all auto hotkey is doing essentially. You just put an order of keystrokes, give it some timing instructions, and voila. So I have it firing off Control F and then typing in the Q8, and then it does all the arrow keys to make that come in from the ether. Let's automate this. I love automating the frequency on EQs. Gives it a nice kind of custom phasery type of effect. And as you could see here, I'm not really thinking too much about, I have a bit of an idea what these automations will do, having twiddled these knobs for years. I know what these effects do, so I can sort of make these assumptions when doing crazy clip automation stuff like I'm doing here. I just consider this expressionistic automation, and most of the time you can get interesting results. Sometimes it gets a little too crazy and you got to go back in and just dial it down a little bit. But for example, the delay effect here, I really just love the granularity that it has. Like a nice, I think that's when the mode is set to fade. It just is a nice beautiful granular sound. The same delay style is set up in here inside the tool, but I like having this automation control on these individual lanes with more effects here. Let's get rid of this one. We don't really need it. I'm going to put this before the delay. All right, let's get some other lane going. Let's see, let's do something really long here, 16 seconds. Get add our own separate delay here, or reverb, I should say. Let's get some of these other newer effects in, like the shifter. God, I love this effect. I really wish this was in Ableton since like 10 versions ago. Would have been so amazing to have. All right, yeah, I kind of like that. So it's one thing I like to do is play around with a knob, get a sense of like a movement that works, and then try to recreate that with automations. You could obviously hit this button here and record it into the track, but I just love doing things way too complicated and over the top because I'm bored, as I mentioned before. I'm gonna get this reverse going. I've noticed the reverse is a little sketchy in this tool. Sometimes when it seems to like take the start and end points and it kind of makes them opposite. So like if I select this, it's actually reversing this intro section here. So if I select this, it's actually reversing this section here. It's kind of confusing. And I have to add some release. I'm not sure how to make it work any better, maybe beyond my current Max for Live abilities. Got some just silly whale sounds in there. I'm not even sure about that. And honestly, you know, if you've been making music for any amount of time, you'll know the majority of the sketches you do are gonna suck. There's just no way around it. But that's just how you learn, how I've learned, and even still, I've been doing this for over 20 years in one form or another, and a lot of my sketches suck still. But that's, you know, the point isn't necessarily to make the most amazing track right off the bat. I kind of feel like getting a sketch to a point of being okay enough to revisit later is the goal. It's, you know, like I could probably pick this up 2 or 3 days later and have some new ideas, you know, hopefully, or pick it up 2 or 3 days later and realize this is just absolute garbage. Let's delete it or put it in that special folder for, you know, sketches you'll never revisit unless you are just bored out of your mind. Let's copy over this remote. We have gone over the 10 minutes. You know, honestly, I don't think you can make a good sketch. I mean, you can get lucky and make a good sketch in about 10 minutes if you know what source files, samples to use, but if you're doing a lot of talking at the same time, yeah, I think forget it. But the act of sketching, I think, is super healthy to do. Try to do a little bit every day, and, you know, even if it's just 10 minutes on an elevator with the police chasing after you, I think it's worth it. I think you, you know, us artists owe it to ourselves to make it an exercise and to try to keep up with it a little bit every day, regardless of if we do something that's just amazing off the bat. I mean, mostly it's not going to be. We're going to have to, but if we sketch every day, 10 minutes to 30 minutes every day for a whole year, you know, you probably might get an album's worth of decent stuff by the end of that exercise. So I recommend trying to, you know, carve out 10 to 15 minutes just to noodle around and learn some new things and sketch about. So, all right, I will shut up. I obviously didn't stick to my less talk, more rock very well. But anyways, hope you enjoy the sketch, and we'll do more soon.